God let you survive this pandemic because he wants you to do great things someday. He let you live through this when so many other people did not. And that is also your responsibility. But how do we keep more people alive? We are not through this pandemic. I wished we were, but I prayed a lot to God during this time. And you know what? God did answer our prayers. He made the smartest men and women, the scientists, the doctors, the researchers. He made them come up with a vaccine. That is from God to us. And we must say, thank you, God. Thank you. And I wear my vaccinated necklace all the time to say, I'm vaccinated. All of you. Yes, I know you're vaccinated. You're the smart ones. But you know there's people out there who aren't listening to God and what God wants. You know this. You know who they are. I need you to be my apostles. I need you to go out and talk about it and say, we owe this to each other. We love each other. Jesus taught us to love one another. And how do you show that love? But to care about each other enough to say, please get vaccinated because I love you. I want you to live. I want our kids to be safe when they're in schools. I want you to be safe when you go to a doctor's office or to a hospital and are treated by somebody. You don't want to get the virus from them. You're already sick or you wouldn't be there. We have to solve this, my friends. I need every one of you. I need you to let them know that this is how we can fight this pandemic, come back to normal, and then start talking about the real issues that we have to.
Whether all clean hands, washing them. Let me hear it if you've had the Pfizer vaccine.
For fuck's sake.
Let me hear it from Moderna. AstraZeneca. Let's hear it from the anti-vaxxers.
Hey guys, George Messa, Third Eye Edify podcast. And I'm taking a small detour from my music mini-series, There's Something About Germany. If you haven't seen any of it yet, it's what I'm all about right now, and I suggest that you definitely catch up, because the next probably 2 episodes of it, I don't know how many more there's going to be, but at least 2 more, I'm finding all kinds of stuff that I never wanted to find, and that's part of what this show is all about. As I hunt and search for things in books, new and old, in translations. And hey, even the occasional Wikipedia search, which can be good depending on what's going on. But if you only use Wikipedia, how much information do you really think a Google search for Wikipedia is going to give you at the most honest and carefully prepared level? I hopefully made a quick point about how manipulated the information is in my last episode on Wikipedia. So anyway, do check that out if you haven't. But based on the opening clips here, I hope that you got a sense or a feel of where this is going. And if you didn't, perfect. The title may have given something away too. But I was thinking about this, and I actually made a little note for myself, as I do sometimes, little post-it, that it's been so long, hasn't it? But does it really feel like it? No. I don't think it feels like it at all. It feels like just yesterday. And it's about 5 years ago. Where we had, what's that word? COVID. Yes. And jobs were lost, and lives were lost, and all kinds of other, and family members were ripped apart. Families, friends, everything. I've already spoken about it at length. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to pique your interest in a very different direction on a topic that I haven't actually heard before. And I'm very curious how all of you feel about it too, my fans out there. If you're on Patreon, if you're a supporting Patreon member, thank you beyond words. If you just found me, welcome. I have many episodes. I'm over 100, including the shorts. So please do check out some of my older stuff. I don't have the kind of show in my mind where if I look back at episode 5 and I say, man, what was I thinking? I meant what I said then. And unless I find research that proves that I was looking in the wrong direction, I will state that when it happens. But other than that, I think that thankfully my body of work so far was as close to the original intention as possible. And thanks to fans, I have a platform. So what is the episode about now, having said all that? Let's think about the first video I showed with Kathy Hochul from New York. It was a pretty scary person. I've actually made another video on hers as well, specifically about her. But it's not about her. This is about what she said. And this is about the language that occurred during that pandemic. Whether there's another one or not, we shall see. But people always say the vaccine is made and ready. We now have the vaccine, singular. And one thing that I point out very clearly, hopefully, as I flesh out a lot of information in my book, World War U, something that were fleshed, and this episode has everything to do with what this book is all about. It's not just some conspiracy book. It's about truth. It's about love, actually, and thinking beyond what you were taught, which is exactly what this music miniseries has been doing for me. Singular. What is a rampant and very culture-shattering concept that has been really coming to life in the past 40 years? I was a victim of it as well. I'm not saying that you're wrong if you're still there, but something seems wrong with it now, and that is atheism. But what does atheism do? It pulls us away from the monotheistic, tried and true understanding that there is some kind of something or other. Let's not put a name on it. Sure, you can call it God, gold, whatever. Something, creative force, some reason that we are what we are and why we're here. Taking you away from that can produce a lot of negative cultural things. It's fine to disagree on religion, but I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about your innate truth that vibrates with you properly, the correct frequencies. Everything that was said about these vaccines seemed so wrong. And Kathy Hochul at the beginning speaks about love, how to love each other properly, how to love everyone, even though she called the anti-vaxxers stupid, which was plentiful around that time. Now, here's the point, okay? All the fluff is gone now. Here's the point. Thank you for bearing with me there. The usage of the singular word vaccine was absolutely one of the most deceptive pieces of the entire puzzle of the literature, the lingo, the rhetoric that was occurring during this time to get everyone on board with this vaccine. It was multiple vaccines. This it should automatically get people curious as to, several companies were able to make a coronavirus vaccine that has never been done before. It's pretty incredible, right? Now, what does that do for us? What does that subconsciously do for the common follower of mainstream media, mainstream science? Religions in themselves, indeed. Government, respecting and loving government is a religion. It's a religious cult. What does it do? It takes you even further from the idea of God. God being truth that vibrates with you, like I said earlier. This is God. I remember hearing a lot when I was little, God is everywhere. And I was thinking, I would look in nooks and crannies and be like, he's right there. Whatever. He's in my room. I can't see anything. This vibration of truth. When someone is lying, the vibe is wrong, and you know it. Truth never loses. Lies always lose. Every time. In due time, of course. You trust your instincts. We have been guided to fight our own instincts and to fight one another until there's no family unit or friends left. This was hidden from us with the concept of multiple vaccines. This is polytheism. It's doing its best to confuse you further, to have you believe that you are finding your trust and your faith and your hope in a single entity. And as we see in the next video that I showed, that crowd cheering for every one of these different vaccines, the same level of cheering, by the way, as if no one had actually chosen the one they got. They all were just very happy to be there, which was, what a psychotic little showing that was. Geez. Hopefully, most of you have seen the videos I showed. If you haven't, then I'm glad to have introduced them to you, because just a tiny little fraction of the nonsense that we went through during all of that. And it's not over, and the lingo's still there, and people are still discussing it. And it's incredible that they're bringing it back. Hey, more vaccines coming. It's not over yet. Our current president is the father of the vaccine, is he not? Oh, yes, our father. Another essentially synonym for God in a general speaking of terms. So that's the main point here, is that you must slave and obey your gods. Your gods, not God. Gods. It's very important that people use the plural when they're trying to make sure that the masses are being kept at a certain level. My own personal opinion, of course. But I really do think this is a surprisingly unspoken idea. I haven't heard anyone say this. Please leave a comment and let me know if you do know of anyone that spoke of this. It's coming back to me in waves, all the information that I was taking in like crazy. And almost always, if I can't think of a time when someone did not say this. They didn't say the vaccines help. The vaccines are there for you. It's always vaccine, singular, to give you this feeling that you are indeed worshiping a God, as potentially is meant to be. Let's just call God Mother Nature. How's that sound? Can we at least put it at that level right now? I don't care if it's Odin or whoever. Let's just say that all of nature is what God is. They want you to not have any recollection of your own personal memories, your deep ancestral memories, as far back as they may go, hardly as far as they're saying. I would think, I don't know yet, but I would think. And it was a very good attempt to get everyone converted to this new God. The one that was already presented in a way where there was no choice when I was a kid. And nobody's parents who let this happen is at fault whatsoever. But now, times are changing. Now, people are starting to say, I don't want those vaccines for my newborn child. I don't want those vaccines for my dog or cat. You're giving dogs vaccines? Where are we right now? What is this? Unnecessary. You know what else gets vaccines, of course? To quote Green Jello, not Green Jelly, as their name was forced to change in the 90s, the cow god. Cows, chickens, your milk, your eggs, your meat, your bacon, everything. Vaccinated. You didn't get the vaccine? Hopefully you're still buying produce and meats from your local supermarket. Because then we'll just give it to you without you even knowing. Isn't that better? Isn't it better when out of sight, out of mind? In body. In body, out of sight, out of mind. I might have a shirt that's that. I might make a shirt. I might make that into a shirt. Should I make that into a shirt? I have a merch store, by the way. I can just make a shirt anytime I want, any kind of shirt. Please do visit that. Link is in the show notes. I do have a few things that are pretty cool. The extent that they're going to make sure everyone's vaccinated should be frightening. And it's still not scary enough for some people. Strangely enough. Hell isn't scary enough anymore, you know? So it's funny how there's almost nothing left. And that is a result of entertainment, I would say. I've personally seen everything that could ever happen in the most awful ways in the horror movies that I used to watch back in the day. Now, couple that with the dreams I used to have. I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep for years. I practiced bass. I got better at bass guitar over many, many years of, I had a good run of sleeping much less than I should have. And I just didn't want to deal with my dreams. They were getting bad. They were getting pretty crazy. I was having absolutely insane night terrors. And it wasn't affecting my day or anything. It wasn't like that. But there they were. And I was surrounded by the best people with nothing but smiles. So I don't know if it was because I watched gory horror. I don't know. Check out my Aliens double episode 50, and see if that rings true for you in that way. But it seems as if there's nothing left for anyone to fear. And due to the way that entertainment has started going in towards the, like cell phone footage, found footage stuff, where it's easier to fake because you don't need the budget. But there's still producers around. There's still people pulling strings. But it becomes where now anything that's on a cell phone footage looking stuff is taken as, oh, this has to be real, right? And there was a lot of that going on in early COVID. You saw people being kind of welded into their houses during COVID. I really don't think that's what that was. There's probably something else. Or it was just totally staged. I don't see why that anyone would think that can't be done, that can't be staged, right? And it's not even just Hollywood. I mean, we're talking about anything. But bottom line is that by secretly getting you to perhaps leave your atheistic ideas and have faith in something like the polytheistic COVID vaccines, you can still get very much further from what they want for you to have, which is a love of life and people and humanity and God, nature, whatever, and bring you closer to needing the system, needing the beast, needing the scientists, needing the computers, needing the AI to do every little thing. I was going to say every little fucking thing because it's starting to piss me off, but I don't care that much. I'm not going to get crazy yet. I've had AI episodes. I'm certain I have to make more now. Not make AI episodes, make an episode about AI, because clearly, and I'm my ear is to the ground, my eyes are to the horizon, in a way of watching what everyone seems to think is the general consensus of reality, which is social media, and which is, like X especially, and a few other ones where even if I try to pinpoint my searches into one topic, it gives me all the crazy stuff, and I can't get around it, and I don't want to. I think TikTok was doing the same thing. I tried them all. I've had enough. I'm going to be off of all that stuff. I have no reason for it. It doesn't do anything for me here at this channel. It doesn't do anything for my base university. It does nothing for me whatsoever, except make me think that the world's about to explode, which is the whole point of it. And that's another level of the polytheism. It's like, I'm done with Facebook. I can go to Instagram now. I'll see what's there. Oh, it's similar enough. Let's go to X and see if there's something different there. And you will get this, oh, I have my gods. I have my go-to things that show me the world. Because it used to just be the 10 p.m. news on whatever channel you were watching. But those days are gone, clearly. 24-hour news cycle kicks in, and now it's anytime. It's not a newspaper. And there's no integrity or penalties for lying or doing anything like that. So just remember, if you think something happened organically, it probably didn't. Not in the past 50 years. Not in the past 100 years. Let's just go with 200 years, actually. I'm going to take it all back now. There are things that did happen organically, of course. But history has manipulated its facts. And with this music miniseries, I'm coming to terms with that in a very, very obvious sense, which is comforting and also very disturbing. What's disturbing is that, yes, it's real. The box is checked off. The thing I thought is actually a reality. The comforting part is that at least when you see something you're not sure about, think the opposite and see if that makes more sense. Put love in the equation and see if the rest of it disappears. This tends to be a theme, as I've exposed in the 19th century, German art, love and folk. Love is the theme, and love wins every single time, even when the gods and the corporate tyrants try to take over, as in the ring cycle, as I had discussed last episode. Love wins, humans win, and we will always win. There's nothing we won't do to preserve our appropriate, natural reality. So, even though all this subconscious stuff happened, and I may have not said everything I wanted to say, but that's just how it goes here on this show, right? I'm winging it. The things I have written, there's not much this time around. I really just wanted to get that idea out that there were several gods during COVID, and there weren't faces. They were just blind company names and, vaccines. Vaccines as gods. As many gods doing the same thing. Didn't anyone think to themselves, like, do I have the best vaccine out of the four? BioNTech, I guess, had one too. Do I have the best one? Do I need to get all of them? Can I combine them? People were like, yeah, you combine this with the flu shot if you want. I mean, really. It's a little much. I love rice. I love soda. I love orange juice. I love coffee. I love whipped cream. Can I combine them all? Yeah, sure. Put them in the same cup. I would have done it when I was younger for fun, but it's a terrible idea and it usually does not work and your body hates you for it. Anyway, I'm sorry to get on these rants here. I felt the need to record. I felt really bad that I've had less output lately, but my research between episodes has been a little deeper with the music thing because I'm trying to make sure I don't say anything that could easily be contested. Obviously, not because I don't want to be wrong, but because I would like for you to get the best possible level of information from me. And I also want, because I have integrity, this is why. I also want to make sure that when I find something that is the complete opposite of what I was taught and paid to learn at, let's say, the university level or some textbook, when I find out that the complete opposite is true and that it's a humongous worldwide agenda to make sure that I learn things a certain way by paying for this education, I want to make sure that I'm not the crazy one. Am I crazy? Leave a comment. Other than that, expect more of the music miniseries and some more shorts coming in the meantime. Thank you so much. And if you're still here, last but not least, my website eventually, and it's not going to be that long from now, if you're watching on, let's say, YouTube here, or Rumble, or BitChute, or Substack, I am going to make my website the only place to see this. I've been shadow banned to death. I'm not interested in finding out how much further that can go. And if I am to keep doing this, I don't just press record. I spend many, many hours, sometimes reading entire books that are translations of things that you can't just blast through these books. I make sure that I'm actually reading them properly, so I can give the camera and all of you, as a result, the best I can possibly give. And I want that to have the audience that it deserves. As far as I know, people have to keep resubscribing to me on YouTube. They don't even get my alerts. And I don't get other people's alerts either. I know it's real. There's plenty more to that story. But bottom line is that I want to make my website a subscription website eventually. And of course, I'll keep you up to date here. But that's what's coming. Because where you're watching this right now, is it really what we want? Do we want Google to be the place where everyone goes to watch content like me, like Universe? Whether it works or not for now, we can't rely on these systems anymore. And this is probably the last time I will be discussing any of this on these channels. So take that as you will. Stay safe. Always keep your mind where it belongs and don't let your phone and all of its little information bits guide you in some other direction that's not truth. You know when something's real. You always do. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.